Hello, what you doing? Oh yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, good. Oh, nothing. I got a school committee meeting tonight shortly, so and then I had a meeting last night too, so tonight's the Shutesbury school. So anyhow, just what we missed. Oh, John texted me today. He said Aiden looks good. And then I didn't have a chance to reply until later, and then I just said, yes, thanks. So what am I going to say, you know? Right, he's probably trying to break the ice, so I let him break it. You know, yeah, I mean, well, no, it's just like, what do I say, you know? Like, I mean, I kind of feel like I don't really have anything to say to him right now, you know? Like, what am I going to say? How's your bitchy wife? Hmm, yeah, I should ask him that. You're right. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Mm, yeah. Mm, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, that video. Yeah, that looked good, huh? Yeah. 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 Something like that. Oh, and then I did leave a message for that guy Zach there, the one that you saw on the next door, and it looks like yeah, and a few other people must have responded too. Um, yeah, and I was kind of thinking, oh, well, I haven't heard from him, so maybe something else worked out somewhere else. But he called me tonight, so he's going to meet me here around 6 tomorrow. And, oh, he's going to meet me here at 6 o'clock tomorrow to look at the place. Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me now? Oh, oh, can you hear me now? Oh, yeah. So he's going to meet me here tomorrow at 6. So, well, he called me tonight. Yeah, he called me tonight. So. Yeah, tomorrow at 6. So we'll see. Yeah. Not really. He looks earthy crunchy. I saw a picture of him, but kind of sounded like it from his description there. We'll see. I don't know. He says he works, but we'll see. Right. I mean, if he doesn't have one, I mean, I could see. Yeah, if he doesn't have one, I could try to find one, but we'll see. I'm assuming he wants at least access to a kitchen. Yeah, I'm assuming he wants a kitchen. Well, I'm assuming just share. Yeah, I don't know what he's. I'll have to ask him. All right. Yeah, probably on the weekend. I don't know yet. um, yeah. All right, I'm gonna go because my meeting's gonna start soon. Okay. Yep. Bye. later, check your emails, period. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, you can hear me and you're on. So I have to
Yes.
admit people in, I guess.
Yes. We had
Okay.
trouble with the policy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it kept saying there was another meeting in progress, but Katie couldn't get in and she was the host, and Jen couldn't get in and she wasn't the host. So I don't know what happened with Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer,
Yes.
I don't try to figure it out.
Okay, I'll just let it go.
Every time it's different. I never know what's going on, as long as it's working.
It's working. We're in. We finally figured it out for policy, and I just don't know. I just Google Meet. I've kind of got the hang of this one. I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just keep trying. I click in,
Yeah.
click out.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm gonna run and grab something. You do what you got to do. I just wanted to see if I was on.
All right.
So.
I'm just going to turn my camera off. I'm going nowhere now that
Okay.
I'm in. All right.
Well,
See you in a bit.
thank you. I'm not going anywhere either. But there's 10 homeschool applications, huh?
Yes, there are. Yep, we have quite a few across Union 28. But I'm, hearing from superintendents that it's pretty consistent across Western Mass.
No, I should not be meeting host.
Why does it say that, Katie?
So before I let everybody in, if there's anyone you don't want me to get in, I can just not admit them.
Oh, too late. You already let me in.
I know, I thought of you, Katie. Just teasing.
Nice try,
Okay.
Katie.
I'm sure I'll get in trouble. I got on early to make sure it was going to work.
I had a lot of trouble with the last meeting.
I heard.
And even now, it's giving me a hard time on the computer, but it's okay on my phone. But that means I can't pull things up as well, which is not ideal.
We'll just all do the best we can.
That's it.
Right, Lauren?
Say, my new motto.
Yeah.
We're doing the best we can.
Doing the best we can.
I recite my mantra: flexibility, patience, compassion, kindness.
I said
I
those
like
words a lot
that.
the last couple of days. The patience part, flexibility and patience.
Yes.
Yep.
We'll figure out how to muddle through it all.
We will.
Okay. So there's 3 of us. There's a quorum. We got Trevor. And looks like we are ready to go. So let's call the meeting to order. It's 7:01. All right. Are there any public hearings? If I could just make a real quick one. Oops. I gotta admit someone. Let's bring Jen in. Come on, Jen. So I just want to congratulate you, Jackie, on having another 3-year contract, right? Great. Very happy about that. Well,
Yep, thank
we'll
you.
let Stephen into it. All right. And the agenda and perpetual calendar, is there anything on the agenda that anyone would like to change or anything? Or bring up? All right. And nothing really on the perpetual calendar. All right, let's move on to warrants and gifts. Are there any?
Yes,
there are.
My favorite.
All right. So do
You
we have a
want me
motion?
Yeah. You want me to read the warrants or?
Yeah, the wah-wah was just for gifts, but I think
All
we
right.
have a warrant.
Let's go with the warrants.
We have a
Okay.
number of warrants.
Okay.
And Trevor, I believe you also get a copy of the warrants, is that right?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we have 6 of them. If you want me to read them off, or Trevor's got copies, or 7 of them.
7 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stephen, if you've got the totals, why don't you just go to the warrant and say the total on the bottom of each one?
All right. So payroll, number 304 from 8/24/20, 64,991.63. Number 305, 9/7/20, $68,118.64. Payroll number 306 from September 21st, 20, $68,459.26. And the accounts payable, number 3002 from August 4th of 20, $26,680.76. Number 3003 from August 10th of 2020, $8,312.37, including $2,368.25 from the CARES Act. Number 3004 from 8/24/20, $7,432.34. And number 3005 from August 24th, 20, in the amount of $221.05, which was encumbered from fiscal year 20. And that's it.
Well, that was
Right.
the most exciting warrant reading and most enthusiastic warrant reading I have ever heard.
I concur. All right.
Bruce,
So,
you got to
all-
up your game with the warrant reading.
All in favor of approving the warrants?
Aye.
Aye. All
Aye.
right.
I
Oh, do we have a motion to approve the minutes from August 5th, 2020?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Right. Do we have
I'll
a second? All right. Are there any edits? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey, Dan, we need to do roll call on everything when we're doing the virtual meetings.
You know, and I know that, but I'll tell you the truth. We're going to just keep moving forward this way. If we get
Okay.
to anything that's controversial, we'll do the roll call. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me. Let's roll.
Are you all okay with that?
Mhm.
Yeah. I just think it does take a long time, and I mean, I don't feel like there's really anything controversial, and if they tell me that we have to do roll call, we'll do it that way, but. All right. Unfinished business and updates. I just have a real quick one. I have not heard anything from Morse Hill School in terms of giving any criteria that would then come to the school committee for us to review for approval. I just wanted to update the committee on that. I have been getting calls from people in the community. I believe one member from their board asking me sort of where I stand on it. And my response has been, I'm just waiting for the criteria. Once the criteria comes, the criteria would come before the committee, hopefully in advance of a meeting. And we would then review the criteria, have a discussion, and then a vote would follow. But I have not received any criteria.
And
I will also say that if you look at their site, it does appear that they're going in a different direction. And it looks like they're looking at doing it some sort of a home school.
yes, because I just wanted to say that I have heard of people trying to enroll there, and I was a little confused by that, but apparently it might be this different direction.
Right. So again, the state of Massachusetts has vested us with the authority of approving of a private school, and that private school needs to provide criteria. We would review the criteria and approve the school. It's a pretty simple process, but we really can't move forward with approval without the criteria, and we haven't received the criteria. So I just wanted to give everybody an update on that as unfinished business. Okay? All right, new business and discussion items. Academic FY21 academic calendar. Jackie,
Yeah,
do you
so
wanna
you
speak?
remember we did discuss
speak
the
first.
calendar. Okay, when we were voting in our final plan, but we need an official calendar vote. And so I will just draw your attention to, we changed the start date to the 28th, and we added 10 additional days that the commissioner granted for training for a total of 12 days at the beginning of the school year, which brought the first day of school for students to Wednesday, yesterday, the 16th. And the last day of school will be the 17th. Typically, we add 5 days for inclement weather on the calendar. However, we are hearing that there may be a 1-year allowance of remote learning on snow days. So pending official guidance from DESE, I have kept the last day of school at the 17th.
Do we have a motion to approve the amended FY21 academic calendar?
I move to approve the amended calendar.
A second?
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Stephen?
Aye.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because if there is dissent, then we could do a roll call vote. All right. Next, homeschool applications. I believe there are 10 homeschool applications. Am I right, Jen?
Yes, you are right.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to do each one at a time, or do you want to just go through all of them?
I am recommending all of them to the committee, but if the committee feels more comfortable one at a time, we certainly can. It would be up to the committee.
I'll speak first. I'm fine with your recommendation. Anyone else have a problem with that?
I would, first of all, can people mute because I'm getting weird feedback. But secondly, I just want to say that I have had a conversation with every single homeschool applicant family, and we have a very good relationship with every homeschool applicant family, and they all express great wish that it was a normal time and their kids would be coming to SES. But, you know, just personal decisions and how they want their schooling to be for their child at this time, it's best for their family to be doing it in a homeschool way. So I just want to let everybody know that I did speak to every single family, and you know, they still want to be a part of the community in some way this year and hope to rejoin when we're not in a remote and pandemic setting.
So can I ask a quick question on that?
Yes.
So those 10 students, their concerns are mainly with the COVID virus, is that?
Yeah, there's more than 10 students, but their concerns are they don't want their kid in front of a screen all day. They want more flexibility with the timing. They don't want to have to worry about getting their kid on a computer at certain times of the day. They're wanting to do more of a more home-based curriculum. Some families, the guardians are able to be home and they're taking advantage of that time to then teach their kid because they're able to be home due to the pandemic. And all of them have expressed, you know, great love for the school. And I have lots of emails about people saying that they want to return. It has nothing to do with the school or the teachers or anything, but it's the situation that we're in.
I have a question. I was just curious, in the past when we've had homeschool applications, the names have been on them. Did people ask for, or am I remembering incorrectly, or did people ask for privacy around that? Or
I can speak to that, Lauren. Last year, after we had approved all of the homeschool applications across Union 28, I ended up with a Freedom of Information request for all the names and addresses and phone numbers of parents who are homeschooling. And based on the advice from our attorneys, the attorney recommended that we redact any personal information, because once it's entered into the public record, which a school committee meeting is, I am required to give that information. And it felt really uncomfortable to me.
thank you.
Thank you for
You're welcome.
doing that, Jennifer. I think that was really important.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one thing to request homeschooling. It's another thing for someone, to take advantage of that request in a public meeting forum and ask for that. So I'm glad we could resolve it in a way that feels comfortable.
I agree. So your recommendation would be to approve the applicants for homeschool application?
Yes. And, you know,
And-
I have to commend Jackie for having all those conversations. Not every principal does that. So thank you, Jackie.
Okay, is there any discussion on that? I'll just also piggyback, Jackie. I think that was wonderful that you did call and check in with them, and that they know that, you know, our school is open and welcome to them, and also for the feedback that you were able to provide to us about the reasoning, because of course we want our school to be open to everybody. So.
And I also made sure they know that homeschool families are welcome to take part in our specials and or our assemblies or things like that. And there are several families that do want to do that.
Great.
And so I think that's great. Some homeschool families are asking if their student could maybe 4 times a year pop into their class Google Meet and show some of the work that they've been doing to keep in contact with the kids. And I said, of course, that would be more than welcome. So they know that I'm willing to be as flexible as possible to try to keep them within the community and the kids getting interaction with their cohort of kids, so that when hopefully they come back sooner rather than later, you know, they still feel like they're a part of that little family group.
Yeah, I think that's important to keep them engaged. Yep, with the school. All right, if there's no further discussion, do we approve all of the homeschool applications as presented? A motion for that? Lauren? I think Lauren motioned,
Find my cursor.
and
So
it looks like Katie seconded. All
yes,
right,
I will move to approve.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll be abstaining.
Okay, 1 abstention. All right. Next
Dan-
report. Oh,
Before we move into the next section,
yes.
I probably should have brought this up an unfinished business or a future business. I'm not quite sure where it goes,
Okay.
but we have been working towards settling negotiations with teachers and their contracts, and we are requesting an executive session be scheduled.
Okay.
To further discuss the negotiations. I think that's number 3, Jen. if
I
I'm
believe
right.
so, yes.
Okay.
So I don't know where that fits into this meeting, but
No, I'm glad that you brought it up at this meeting, and Jennifer, you and I will talk and then set up an executive session meeting in sort of, maybe Pam can help facilitate a meeting, and then we'll do all what we have to.
Sure.
That gonna
That
work,
sounds
Katie?
good.
thank you. Perfect.
All right, thank you for bringing that up. Okay. Superintendent's report.
Yes. So we had our first virtual opening day on August 28th. And we diligently prepared for it as a leadership team. And thanks to our intrepid techie person, Principal Mendonza, she helped us create Bitmojis on our laptop so we could add them to our virtual slideshow. We had some poetry, we had some motivational speeches, we had some singing. Mr. Cortina, who's the music teacher at Swift River and Shutesbury, led us with song. In addition, also we found out Miss Mendonza has another talent. She's quite the DJ. And so she's been playing entrance music. You know, when we're all coming into a meeting, it's that weird, awkward silence as people start to log on, especially when there's 100 plus. So Jackie's been picking some songs every time we get together. So opening day felt like it went really wonderful. I think some of the leadership team teared up more than once or twice as we were seeing all of our staff virtually and sharing stories. We also had 12 days of training. We usually start with 2, but the commissioner gave us 10 additional, and we had technology training at the union level. We had health and safety training, and our school nurses did a fabulous job. They had live links, and they archived it so people could go back and refer to it. our awesome technology coordinators did a great job. I want to make sure I mention that. We had Antioch provide some outdoor education training, and it was organized by our old friend Paul Bucco, so it was nice to connect with him. And we're looking to do more of that. And then we had our grade level training, which we were super organized as a leadership team. We made links for every grade level. Annie Foley-Ruiz was the owner of the thing. She had to step out, and nobody could get into any link. And we tried, I tried, everybody tried. It was a fiasco. And the tech people jumped right in, and we were just about to say, forget it. We'll do it another time. We decided to show our vulnerability and go back to the staff and say, okay, here's a mistake, here's what happened, and this is what we're going to do. I even made a little like poem to share about our folly, and people were super sympathetic and empathetic, and I think it modeled for everybody. We're going to have technology glitches, even the best laid plans. So that was our flop, which then became a positive. So I've had a wonderful start to school. I just want to take a moment here to say that you amazing. She hasn't had a day off. We've been meeting 3, 4, 5 times a week as a leadership team. And I just want to say we are ever so, she's calm, she is supportive, she is funny, and it's just to have her as their lead. Everything you need.
All right,
And
Jennifer,
that's my
you're
superintendent's report.
okay. You're breaking up a little bit. I just wanted to let you know that. But I think we got the gist of it.
Oh, yeah, it says okay. It's, the rest of it is Jackie's awesome.
All right, we got that. Yes, Lauren.
I just want to take a minute to say that I don't think that when you're outside of education that you can necessarily understand, normally well, I think actually it's really helpful for you to say what happened, Jen, with your first day, because that's why there were 12 days at the start for professional development, because those things happen all the time. And when you have 18 students sitting there, waiting for you, you need to be able to manage. And that's a lot of learning to happen. So I know that and appreciate all the hard work that everybody has been putting in, and the stress that I'm sure that they've all been feeling. And I appreciate that. And I also appreciate, Jackie, that, I don't have to be in that building to know that the staff feels supported by you, and they need that more than ever. So thank you.
All right, well, thank you, Jennifer. Bruce, Director of Finance and Operations report.
So we've had a busy late summer here. Been working with the custodians on cleaning protocols. Matt's worked on the HVAC, got that running and changing air like it's designed to. Also been working with Becky at the town level. She's been very supportive with some CARES money. So we're kind of working back and forth, sharing expenses and determining what's theirs and what's ours. Had some conversations with the fire and chief and the building inspector here this past week regarding safety issues that have come up in the last couple of weeks regarding tents and hand sanitizers and stuff like that. So it's been an interesting few weeks. We applied for and received our CARES money, and we also got it's called the Coronavirus Relief Fund. It's the $225 per student state money we got. We haven't completely got the grant yet, but it's in final application status. We've got some money that we can work with. I know they've worked with hiring consultants and stuff to get the year started, and we're looking forward to hopefully keeping ahead of things and have a safe and healthy year.
So Bruce, I have a question on the $225. That follows the student, is that right? So what happens with homeschool students?
No, that's an allotment we got, and it does somewhat follow students, but we've also got, you know, a number, and it stays with us. I think the homeschool students are still considered our students, and therefore it comes to Shutesbury. I haven't heard of any reductions because you know, so I think it's a little, off the top of my head, it's a little over $24,000. So, and we have to spend that by the end of the calendar year. So we've only got a couple more months to spend that. So,
okay, Lauren.
I'm not sure if I should be asking who I should be asking, but I was wondering, Bruce, you brought up the air circulation. Have there been, or are there going to be air quality tests? Yeah.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So we did have our air ventilation examined in the middle of the summer, and it was strong the way it was. But what we did do is we worked with them to even make it even. It was fine the way it was, even without windows open. But we did buy more. I don't know, maybe even Steve knows the name of it. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. We bought better filters, and they're being changed like way more often.
Are they the MERV 13s?
Yeah.
Jackie?
I think, yeah, I'm sorry, I should know the name, and I don't know the name right now in my head.
Okay.
But it's the one Jamrock, and I know they're around doing this for every school. They recommended, and Matt and Andy are going to be replacing them like way more often than even we did before. So we're in really good shape in terms of the air quality. Thank goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question, Lauren. Bruce, is there anything else?
No, that's it for tonight.
So everything seems to be pretty good. You don't see any concerns in terms of
No.
budget?
No, we ended the year, we actually turned back around $19,000 to the town this year because of all the positive things that happened. And that includes, we ended up paying for the water heater too. So even though I had a conversation with Becky and she goes, oh yeah, I found the paperwork, but we absorbed that cost. It was fine. We could do it. So, you know,
Excellent.
it goes back to the town either way. So, you know, we had a good year, and I think, in my opinion, we're in good shape going into this year. We do fortunately have some resources that we can tap if things get a little crazy as we go forward. But, you know, right now it's, you know, unless Jackie can add in on this, but, you know, right now it looks like we're staffed well, and we're moving forward with what we have. And I think, in my opinion, we're in good shape. So.
Excellent. So even with us paying for the water heater, we were able to return $19,000 back to the town.
Yep.
Okay. Great job, guys
Well,
and gals.
the last couple of years have not been as pleasant, but I think this year we were fortunate, had some things happen staff-wise and stuff that we were able to save some funds, and we were able to contribute back to the town. So.
Great. Thank you. All right. If nothing else, no other questions. Let's move on to the principal's report.
Hi, everybody. So yeah, we started school yesterday, and it was great. But no, truly, it was great when you like I can go into everybody's virtual everything. And, you know, I would pop into these classrooms and I would see the kids, and of course my eyes would well up, and it was just so nice to like see them. We've done all of these months and weeks of planning, and to finally see the kids was really awesome. And, you know, we had a really successful 12 days of planning. This whole thing has been so emotional, and it's been emotional for everybody, but if you work in a school, like I know if you work in education and we're finally starting after all of the worrying and thinking and planning, it does feel super emotional. But I just have to give a really amazing shout out and thanks to the staff at the school. They are the most amazing group of people. They have been so positive and so supportive of each other. And we, you know, we tackle a lot of things together, and it's just so amazing to see them working together. And a little glimpse of that was we offered like tips and tricks to be successful in virtual learning, and a Q&A, basic Q&A. And we had people from the staff volunteer to come, and so many different types of people gave ideas and tips, and it was so loving and welcoming. And we've also had some Google 101 info sessions with little kids because they're on iPads, and big kids because they're on either Chromebooks, or actually we have a class that does have MacBooks. They have been using them since 4th grade, so they're really comfortable with them. And Debbie has been available yesterday, today. She will be tomorrow and probably next week for virtual pop-in sessions in the morning for families who need help. And that is going so well, very helpful. And it has been used a lot. We are having 3 students that qualify under some of the state regulations for some in-person services. We have 3 students that qualify for that, and they are receiving those services in person. They all have different profile, and so their programs are a little different, but there are 3 students that are coming to the school and getting services outside with staff. We have 2 new staff members. Mike Cortina is our new music teacher, and he's amazing. And he has worked at Swift River for years, but he's a friendly face over here too. He's helped me out a few times. And our awesome performing arts teacher, Sam, the reason why she left is she's actually a certified classroom teacher with a flair for the performing arts. And her dream was to have a job in Union 28 as a classroom teacher, and she was able to accept a 5th grade classroom position at Swift River earlier this summer. So we're all really happy that she's still around. And she was sad to leave, but this is her dream. And then also we have a new 4th grade teacher, and his name is James Parsons. And he's very well known. Yeah, Lauren's shaking her hand. He's very well known in the community. He has students that attend the school. He was a para at Shutesbury for several years. And he is so awesome. And he's a really great fit for our school community, but also that grade in particular. So we're all really thrilled to have him.
Jackie, he did tell me this is his dream job, and he just
Yeah.
can't believe he's at Shutesbury.
Yeah,
so
he was actually hired in another district, and this was a like 2 day before school starts type of information that we needed a new 4th grade teacher, and well, maybe a little bit before that. And I posted it, and he was the first person to apply, and he already had a job somewhere, so he knew he had to jump on the chance because it doesn't happen often. I also just want to say thank you to the PTO. They supplied us with these really awesome backpacks with our Shutesbury Moose and our school name on it. They're really great, and we were able to utilize that for some of our deliveries, which was we also offered meet and greets with the teacher and pickup and pickup of material time so that the students could actually see their teacher, you know, obviously in a safe way, and pick up their materials and get the materials explained to them a bit, and just kind of have a personal hello to them. And that went really, really well. We had a whole bracket of time so that parents, if family members could just come. One family member was able to attend with the child to get the stuff. We are serving about 30 families from our kitchen, breakfast and lunch. So we have 30 families taking part in that, and Gail is also amazing. I'm sure, I don't know if you have heard yet from last year, but you probably will hear people saying, I cannot believe what I'm getting for food. You know, they're getting homemade soups and breads and vegetables and just really wonderful things. She has 2 pickups a week, but within those pickups are for several days of food. And it is how families, they actually really enjoy that. Let's see. Oh, the COVID money. So we did buy desks. We did buy tents, which now we just found out that they need to be flame retardant or fire resistant or something like that. And so I think
Yes.
everyone in the whole entire state's like, what? So now we're all looking at the tents and probably having to send them back and look for other ones. And you also have to keep your hand sanitizer in a certain way, and there are all these new regulations that we got. But we're also going to be getting water filler stations, because we just think that, you know, bubblers, water fountains are not probably the most sanitary thing to be getting water from. And then lots of materials and individual books and bins. And, you know, even if we do go back in some sort of a hybrid fashion, everyone's going to need their own everything. So it puts a dent in the pocket for some of the materials. And, you know, I said thank you, but I have to thank our custodians. They've been phenomenal and working really hard. And Jessica, our nurse Katie, has been working nonstop. You know, everything changes and alters and updates and all of these things, and it takes a lot to be on top of it all. And then I have to just say, the person who is the angel of the school is Debbie Lee. She is so phenomenal. I don't really have enough words to describe her, but I think you all know her. She is calm and patient and smart and dedicated and amazing. And we could not have done this without her steadiness and her knowledge. So I just wanted to publicly thank her. But we're doing it. We're doing it. You know, there are bumps in the road, but we're trying to be positive. Families are being so supportive. And I think, you know, Lauren has a son in 6th grade that attends our school. Like, I think some of the things the teachers are doing are phenomenal. And I think that it's only going to get better as people have the stamina for school and also get the format. But I do have to just share one quick funny story. So, you know, kids haven't been really attending school for a long time. And in the 2nd grade, you know, the teacher is so sweet, and they're like exploring materials, and they're singing and they're reading and they're all the things. And then they offered like a 15-minute choice block where kids could just explore materials, but the meet was still on so that the teacher could call them back, you know, at some point. And 5 minutes into the meet time, the guardian of one of the students moved their iPad, and the kid had fallen asleep on top of the math manipulative blocks because they were just so tired, because they weren't used to the same type of mental stimulation for a long time. So that's why.
Oh, so sweet.
I've gotten actually lots, by lots I mean maybe 8 or so emails or messages about thanking us for our 2 weeks of half days, because their kids are so exhausted by the end that they see that the tolerance of being able to do this had to build up a bit. So I just wanted to thank you for supporting that.
Thank you.
Dan?
Yes.
Dan? I just
Bruce.
wanted to add, the meals that we're serving, the state got a waiver so that the meals that we're serving, we're being reimbursed at the free rate like we were in the spring. So that's good news for our food service. It's substantial amount that we get for feeding the kids. So.
Great, thank you. Jen, did you have your hand up, Malcolm Brown? Okay. So yeah, I would also like to just piggyback, Jackie, on all of those wonderful comments that you had about teachers and staff. I think they are incredible. And I know there's a couple different quotes out there. I think they say 10 or 20% is what happens to you, and the other 80 or 90% is really how you react or what you do with it. So, we've been given something very difficult, and it is really wonderful to see the support and really the positivity. I think that I think that's emulating from leadership, from you and from Jennifer. And so I appreciate that. And I think that, I don't want to say we're lucky, because I don't really think about luck, but we're fortunate. And fortunate means, this doesn't happen by accident. Debbie Lee, I can think back to years ago when she, there were 2 positions at the Shutesbury Elementary School. I think this was under Terry Thomas, and those positions were combined to create 1 position, and that position was then advertised, and Debbie Lee was hired for that position. So again, these things don't happen in a vacuum, or they don't happen at random. There was lots of thought and research and input from teachers and staff to think about what was best for the school at the time. And here I am, I don't know how many years later, looking at the results of that decision. So I think it's all great. So thank you all. All right, next is Amherst Pelham Regional Report.
I have a couple of questions for Ms. Mendoza first.
Sure.
The first question is, are we sure that all 110 students do have internet access at home?
Every student that we currently have enrolled, including preschool, are able to access the learning.
From home or wherever they are during the day?
Yeah.
Cool. And as far as the meals, yeah, the USDA extended that through December 31st.
Yeah.
All right, so the region. I have been meeting once or twice a week all summer long. It's been almost as many meetings as when we were being sued by the former superintendent, but not quite. And they're not lasting quite as long. They're not 5 hours long each time. But I've got 2 things. The first is sports. For those who haven't heard, we approved soccer, field hockey, volleyball, but it's outdoors, and cross country. We moved football to it's called that floating season in February and March. And we said no. So no to the football and no to soccer. I mean, no to golf. The issue with the golf was that neither one of the golf courses in Amherst that the golf team plays on would close the course while the high school meets were in session. So you had the public was going to be walking around on the golf course at the same time. So we felt that wasn't safe. So there's no golf, and the football's been moved, but everything else is on. And the biggest change with the sports is the field hockey, where normally it's 11. Don't ask, I don't know why they chose field hockey, but field hockey can only have 7 including a goalie on the field per team, where the soccer has kept 11. I'm not quite sure how they did that, but because the field's just about as big. And the other is the agreement between the APEA and the Region Union 26 and the Amherst Public Schools. And so what that means is on October 1st, preschool, kindergarten, first grade, and all special populations will be in school 5 days a week. And then on October 19th, the second and third grades will be added for 5 days a week. And then on the 16th of November will be grades 4 to 6, 2 days a week or 5 days a week, depending on the busing issues. And grades 7 to 12 will be one day a week starting on the 16th. And that is the update.
Any questions for Stephen? All right. Thank you very much. All right, Union 28. Lauren, is there anything to report from Union 28?
There isn't. We have a meeting on Monday, and I'll be presenting the superintendent evaluation report at that meeting. So we'll have that, but I can get back to you on that meeting at our next meeting.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you very much. So at the collaborative, we have moved the executive director search off a little bit. Karen Reuter, who is the deputy director, will take over when Bill retires in December. She will be interim until we hire a person, which I believe will be somewhere in the summer. So I'm working with Cheryl, who's the director of human resources, and we are gearing up to include all stakeholders in the process, and we hope to have a really good process in the hiring. We are going to do it internally as opposed to hiring an outside consultant, which we used the last time we hired a person at the collaborative. That will save us $80,000 just from the search. In addition to that, by pushing it off, we will have some savings because of an interim position and lowered costs for benefits and stuff. We have opened Heck Academy. Heck Academy is a school for special needs students. We are bringing back 6 students who are highly special needs. These were students with social and emotional issues, students who wanted to come back, whose families wanted to come back. The collaborative is doing everything they can to provide all of the safety materials, PPE, and all of that to provide safety for teachers and staff. But the board did vote to open the school because of the needs of these individual students. We're also beginning our strategic plan for the next phase for the collaborative. I attended that this morning. It went from 8:30 to 1 on Zoom. It's not easy being on a computer screen. I'm a people person. I like being in person. I like the whole thing. So this is much more difficult for me, but they have some people we're working with that are trying to, again, bringing all stakeholders in to form a strategic plan. Ours is ending, so we'll now move forward. I think it's great to have all of the people involved in that. So I look forward to that. It's my really role in this is as the person on the board is really to make sure that it's a good process, that stakeholders, all stakeholders are involved. I think if you have a good process, you have a good outcome. So that's really my role in that. I really don't know a lot about education, and a lot of what they were talking about, including aboriginal education and stuff I don't really know anything about. So it was very interesting, very moving, and I look forward to a really good outcome with that. And that is it for the collaborative. So any questions? Okay. Policy review.
Yeah,
First,
so
we need to-
it's a
Okay.
two-parter, right? You were just going to say that. So we have to waive our regular policy adoption for the purpose of, in one night, adopting the face covering policy. And I think this is important to have right in place now before we start phasing students in. So the first vote would be to waive school committee policy BGB policy adoption. And the motion should say, for the purpose of adopting policy EBCFA face coverings, in one vote.
All right, Lauren, are you moving on that? Did I see you moving on that? You're muted.
I'm talking to myself because I went to look at relook at the policy. I have two screens and I lose my cursor between them, so that I can't unmute. Yes, I can move to waive our policy adoption, whatever you just said.
Great.
For
And I
the
see
purpose
Katie is
of-
already unmuted.
I can second.
Awesome. All right, is there any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next.
The next policy is the face coverings policy. This is a template from MASC. The only thing I want to draw your attention to is that in the second paragraph, it says exempted from this policy are students in grades 1 and below. We're actually in Union 28 requiring all students in all grades to wear masks. So I'd like to say that when we adopt this policy, it is with that with that line removed, if the committee feels comfortable.
So Lauren, are you motioning to adopt that policy as amended?
Yes.
Okay. Katie,
Yep, I'll second.
is there any discussion on that policy? Jackie, you feel fine with that as well?
I would recommend that, yes.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I think you can see from the agenda, future business. We have a policy subcommittee coming in October. Jennifer and I will work with Pam to look at an executive session meeting on contract negotiations. School committee again, October 15th. Union 28 coming up on Monday, the 21st. And Lauren, we're looking forward to hearing more about the evaluation. And that looks like it. Obviously, if there's any items on the agenda for the future that anyone would like to put on the agenda, please feel free to email me or Jennifer or Pam or any of us. Pam is wonderful. She's so helpful. I appreciate everything she does. I know I always thank her, but I just want you to thank her again.
I will, because I thank myself that we have her. Thank God, Pam, for you. Pam is just amazing. She's on top of everything. She's super organized, and she's just so kind and so sweet and so patient. So we're all so lucky to have her. And she answers my texts at any time when I say, I can't get into the Google Meet, Zoom won't work, help, even when she's off the clock. So thank you, Pam.
Every time I ask her for help, which is often, she always helps me. So I do appreciate that. All right. Is there anything else that anyone would like to say, Jen?
We
I just
schedule the executive session or no?
Go ahead, Jen. Sorry, I'm talking over you. Go.
You go first, Jen.
Katie, were we going to try to coordinate the executive session date right now where we were all together?
Whatever works best. I know there's a push to do it as soon as possible.
I'm fine with that. If you do, you want to look at that, and then we can. Pam is probably just going to have to do the postings and stuff, so I'm sure she'll be fine with that. Do we want Jennifer? Do you want to be there as well?
Yeah, I've been, yeah, I can go. Yeah.
Again, I don't know how it's all working. It's all different now, but all right.
This
And
week
Jen
I had a
Malcolm
meeting
Brown.
every night, but next week's pretty clear except for Monday.
Jen Malcolm Brown, do you have a date that you're looking at, or?
Is next Thursday too late? Do we need to do it before that?
I'm actually not available next Thursday. I'm available any other day next week, though.
Tuesday wouldn't work for me, but I could do Wednesday if that would work for people.
I can do Wednesday. Steve, can you do Wednesday?
I can do Wednesday.
I can do Wednesday.
So
What
Wednesday
time?
looks good. What time,
And then-
Jen?
Anytime.
Do you want to try for earlier or does? Yeah, earlier.
Earlier would be great.
Okay. What's the earliest people can do? What's that?
Earlier, but just not too early.
Like
Like 5?
6?
Anytime of 5 or after. I can
Okay.
do.
Does
And then
anyone
just-
have stipulations on time?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so kind of 5-ish, or so Jen, what do you suggest?
Can people do 5:30?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So we'll plan an executive session meeting on Wednesday, September 23rd at 5:30.
Can I just ask a question on, because this whole negotiation thing is a little bit different than ever before. At what point does the town come in? Would it make sense to invite Becky Torres to that as she's the representative for the town, or for me to keep talking to her separately?
I would invite her then.
Okay, if she's available. If she's not, then I can probably just keep filling her in as long as she's okay with it.
Right, but if she's on the committee, correct?
Yes,
Or
we
no?
have not actually had it. It's all different
Okay,
this time through.
so
I will reach out to her today though.
here's a good so that's a good question. It's all different. Like, has there been any negotiation yet, or is it like,
It's
because normally
been,
parameters are set?
right, but this is started with the MTA representative and the lawyer working together, and then they brought forth a proposal to the negotiating subcommittee.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, it is all different.
I think it's because, yeah. Well, we can talk
Yep.
about an executive session.
We'll talk about it in executive session. Jennifer, can you ask Pam to do all the postings and all of that?
Will do, and it will be for executive session 3 to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining.
Correct. And then I guess that I will also have to work with the town clerk to make sure that I host the meeting.
Yes,
Unless
please.
someone else wants to host it. I don't care how this works, but I just know there was a little bit of confusion because they thought I was also on policy and subcommittee and all of that, and we had to figure it all out. So do one of you want to host it since you're on that committee?
I would be thrilled if you would. I've had trouble getting in. There's always somebody else in a meeting that I have to end on.
I tried.
I'm not on it.
I will do it, no problem.
Thank you.
It went very smoothly tonight, Dan, so I have faith it will go
It's my
smoothly.
first one I've ever hosted.
Right,
just
because I
wanna,
kicked somebody off at 6:30. I don't know out of what.
Good
I
job.
just want to make sure to thank you guys for working on the negotiations. I know that that's a lot, so thanks for taking that on.
Yes, thank you both. All right. So it looks like Jennifer, Jen, did you want to add anything?
I just know that Lauren and I had been talking over each other, so I wanted to give Lauren a chance to
No,
say.
that's all. I
That's
just
all.
want to say thank you. I feel like I want to thank all the people for all the things. So
I think we all ditto that, so thank you. All right. So is there anything else people would like to discuss before we adjourn?
Yes. So
Yes.
I will send everybody the agreement between the region and the APEA tonight, so everyone can see it, because it breaks everything down pretty well. And I guess that, I forgot the other thing.
Okay, and is that confidential, Stephen?
No, it is not. It's been made, it was public.
Okay. All right. Again, is there anything else? All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, everybody. Sorry for talking over you, Jen.
No, same. I was doing the same. Good night, all.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night. Thank you.
Thanks, Trevor.